Puff. Hey, bro, take your ass to sleep, nigga. What the fuck are you doing up right now, man? I'm drunk as fuck. Ain't nobody got time to sleep right now. Well, I ain't drunk, but I am drinking. A little bit of wine. Oh, damn. I know that's right. You gotta get personal work done along with your regular work. All right. Obviously, I'm not old and boring like a nursing home because you're in here. So if I were old and boring like a nursing home, then why the fuck are you even in here taking your time and energy to make stupid ass comments? You just make you actually refute what you're saying. You're a conundrum amongst yourself. You are a walking oxymoron. You're a walking oxymoron. It doesn't make any sense, bro, at all. So obviously you like old boring shit because you're in here communicating with something that you consider to be old and boring, like a nursing home. You're dumb. Watch what you say, because things that you can say the simplest things that let people know how ignorant and stupid you are. You're just so fucking stupid for talking shit about something you're watching. That's your problem. You came in here and watched this stream. Nobody's making you stay in here. So you sound so dumb. Think about it, really. Think about it. Think about what the fuck you're saying before you say this shit, because we can see immediately you're stupid. You're stupid as fuck. If I came across something that was old and boring like a nursing home, I would immediately pass that shit by like, damn, this is old and boring. Get that the fuck out of here. But you, no, you stayed and you commented and then you commented again. You know why? Because you're old and you're fucking boring like a nursing home. And you have shit else to do. And right now, I'm the best thing in your life. I'm the best thing you have going for you right now. Sit the fuck back and shut the fuck up, bro. Dumbass people. And he's a schizophrenic too. Motherfucking schizo. Motherfucker just retarded, bro. Just say dumb shit. Um, you're old and boring. If I'm old and boring, you're ignorant and stupid. I don't mind calling names. You want to call names? I can call names too. You ignorant, stupid motherfucker. But hey, to each their own, man. Some people like being ignorant and stupid. It helps them feel better. I don't know why, but the bag is almost empty, man. The bag is almost empty. I ate all my gummy bears. They're so good and chewy. Once all the gummy bears gone, I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. Yo, this fucking blunt leaf is fucking me up right now. Just come the fuck off of here, bro. You talking about not the Totitos? What is it? Avocado and salsa dip? Mm-mm. Motherfucker think he Mexican now. Tostitos. I got my chips, man. With my damn some chips and dip. Oh, it's green like that, not like baby dookie green. Oh man, the green might throw you off though. It tastes good. It just look funny. A walk down a loop, bam, a walk bam, boom, to the fruity. Oh, to the fruity. Oh, to the fruity. Oh, a walk down a loop, bam, a walk bam, boom. Yo, they got blunt guts on the street. Nah, I can't live in this neighborhood, man. Why not, man? They got hooligans and hoodlums running around. They ain't even responsible enough to throw they blunt guts in a trash can. You know what I'm saying? They won't even put it in a trash receptacle. They just got blunt guts all on the ground everywhere. I can't live in this community. I'm not putting up with the shenanigans. that's right. That man said, I don't want no blunt guts nowhere around my house. If you see blunt guts and condom wrappers, stop looking in that neighborhood. Perfectly rolled stogie. Congratulations on uploading that pre-approval letter. Hmm. The bat, the Louisville Slugger, that shit gonna hit you across the head.
because I don't think the right questions have been raised. And before you can actually describe something, you have to know what it is. And if it hasn't been described, then you're not going to know what it is. Then you can't explain it. You don't know what it is. So what I want to do is I want to ask questions, and that's the same since I started writing back so I've been at it for 32 years. I'm just asking a question. I don't get any university money for this, so it's not my job to answer the questions. I do have a theory, though, but everybody has a theory, everybody has an opinion. Anyway, we'll go briefly through the Giza Power Plant. We all know the Great Pyramid. We know the features of the Great Pyramid, and so I won't spend much time on that. And for those of you who are not familiar with my book, what I did in terms of analyzing the Great Pyramid from an engineering perspective, it looked to me like the schematics of a machine. And then I was inspired with an idea of what that machine may have done. The only question I had was, how did it function? What did every detail mean? And really, to answer the question,
We got a few new followers in the past couple hours.
Characteristic by
1,
characteristic,
2, 3.
all the different elements of the Great
3 new
Pyramid.
followers.
That's what I did with the Giza Power Plant.
That's that.
The central theory is that the Great Pyramid is a device for drawing energy from the Earth and converting it into useful energy. And so it's based on vibration. And the vibration from the Earth, it's actually coupled to the Earth and is in harmony with the Earth. And so it's a kind of like a symbiotic relationship that it has with the planet, in that it drives energy into the planet, and it also draws a lot more energy out of it. But it's based on acoustics. And so the features that are generally described as features for a tomb, which I don't think too many people actually believe that the Great Pyramid was a tomb, except maybe...
She gonna be the first one to get pregnant, yo. I can just see it in her.
She 18?
16. My cousin's oldest, second oldest.
Well, I can say, weirdly enough, at least on my mom's side, everybody for the most part is in order. Like, my brother Kiki, he would be next, but he's locked up, so it's like, so then it would be Mickey and me. So I don't know, we kind of went in order. But on my dad's side, shit, my dad wasn't even, I don't think, 18 when he had me. Or just barely. I think he might have been, or actually he was like 19 or 20, but still.
I think her sister is 18, and she like 16. But she gonna be out there fucking around for her sister too. She just look too hot though. Like,
sometimes it'd be the oldest, and sometimes it'd be the youngest.
Yeah, she just too hot in that half show. Like my cousin just, but my cousin was like that too. She was hot in the ass.
I swear, and it's true though, because all my friends that were hot in the ass, they got babies now. And like, not to toot my own horn, because I don't have a college degree, but like, I graduated high school early, and I played sports, and like, minding my motherfucking business essentially. What you need to smoke weed at 12 years old for? And you know, a 12-year-old with enough stress in the world that they need to spark up after school.
Yeah, but I was smoking at 13, so I can't even hold nobody in that shit. Yeah, this is my man's young, but I noticed like ever since I met him, I've known him for over 10 years now. It's like, I think I'm the only other black dude he ever hung out with, yo. He just always hangs out with white guys, yo. Not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just like, motherfucker don't ever try to make black friends, yo.
Or is it hard to find him?
I mean, me and him met.
Maybe you just not his cup of tea.
No, I mean, we were friends. Me and him were good friends for a long time. But then when I met him, like, he had 2 white homies.
Is this girl white?
He never really had a girlfriend. He kind of messed around with a couple girls. Like, he's a weird. He's ex-military. He has a real bad drinking problem sometimes. Like when he drinks, it gets bad. But that's the guy I told you had punched the girl and had to put him out the car. Yeah.
Oh, that's him.
That's him.
He don't like women.
When he drink, yo,
he don't like women. I'm telling you, there's some men out there that are macho men that don't act flaming or nothing. That hate women. If you drunk and you can do that just because.
Just punched it, like.
That's what I'm saying. No, he do that shit on the regular.
But that's like we were hanging out for years before that, like 3 years. We worked together. We hung out for years, and then that incident, and then like after that shit, it was just like. So the first thing that made me kind of like watch him was we went out one time. He got drunk and got locked the fuck up at the club. Got in an argument with.
Oh, he's a liability.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm out there trying to match with bitches, and for whatever reason, he arguing with the goddamn bouncer and shit. Next thing I know, like the other homie is like, yo, they got him outside locked up, and they about to lock him up. I'm like, word. So I'm going out there. I'm like, oh, officer, please, look, I'm with him. He's with me. Just can you put him in my car, and I'll take him home. No, he's already in cuffs. We're taking him down. We're just gonna put him in detox. Okay, he was drunk. Motherfuckers, I'm like, oh man, this is so embarrassing. The bitches I'm backing with, them bitches looking at me like, oh, you with these corny ass niggas. Yep. I'm like, oh my
Street
god.
fucked your night up. Cause like, I would have been like, oh, this corny ass.
I'm like, bro, you killing the vibe, nigga. They locked him up. Now the whole vibe gone. I went home. 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. There he go calling.
Sober, man, no girl.
Hey, bro, can you come get me, man? Can you come get me out the tank? They about to let me go. So first of all, you killed the fucking vibe last night. Now I gotta get up out my goddamn bed to come get your ass out the goddamn detox tank and then take you back to go get your fucking car, bro. Right then I was like, nigga, that was too much, yo. And I was still cool with her after that. Like, I ain't fuck with her for like a week or so. Just let her know, like, nigga, you played yourself. And that played me, nigga. After a couple weeks, we started hanging back out. And then, like, it was, like, months and months and months after that shit. All this hanging out again. He punched the fucking girl I'm chilling with.
The other thing about it, too, he might be putting on the front for them white boys. And as, you know, a strong male, you're able to see right through his shit. So they might just, you know, they might not check him.
Yeah.
Not saying because they're white, because I know some real ass white motherfuckers. I'm just saying they might be like them cool, chill, and they might just not check him on shit like a real man would.
But he does have like this, I don't know, I hate to even categorize people like that, but he got like a white boy mentality and shit. I don't know if that's from his military experience where he had better comrades in the military who were white, but it just like, I ain't never seen him like have any other black friends, yo, at all.
Puff don't smoke.
He used to, Puff don't do that.
Our house be clean too. The smoke, it purifies.
Yeah, I'm good. But the cigar, you got fucking dope, man.
Experience over degrees, facts.
I know that's right.
Good morning, Puff. Team no sleep.
Plus, he done rebuilt his whole fucking Linux system.
His what?
His computer rig, his hacking. Yo, this motherfucker do like security, like online security and shit for a big ass firm. Like, yeah, a legit hacker. Like I said, if I want to know some shit for real, if I want to, yo, Puff is like the real, like for real legit shit, yo, for real. That shit is it's crazy, yo.
see. I'm not supposed to.
the different geometries are replicated. Okay. Well, anyway, this is really exciting stuff.
That's the kind of shit he be looking at. I don't understand it, but it's fucking different computer systems and shit. Motherfuckers just be all like hacking shit there.
Pyramids were more engineering stuff than temples were. Boy, was I wrong.
Some Python 3.
Temples are amazing.
Juice Danger. So what's your boy Yeezy gonna do now? Juice, I don't even know that he even knows what's going on with Kanye.
What's going on with Kanye?
He's getting a divorce from Kim for Rhoda time.
Yeah, but they've been saying that for a minute though, man.
Yeah, but there's like people are like posting it, I guess, from their pages. I don't know. I saw an article about it. I didn't even click on it. But,
Alright, so
you know,
that's that celebrity shit. Motherfucking Dr. Dre has been seen out with his new lady, and then his wife is like, "Oh, them bitches wearing my clothes when they're in my house."
I sent you that shit, and I thought that shit was funny because she asked for all that money, and then you turn around and you mad because you talking about they wearing your clothes.
So what, bitch?
I'm not gonna lie, like I would be pissed off. Travis, you got these bitches wearing my clothes, but like if I have tried to divorce,
just gave you $1 million, 100 million. Whatever, how many millions you want?
You got like $1 billion, and you gave me $1 to give me my clothes back.
Whatever, yo.
I mean, honestly,
bitches the same size.
Honestly, if she wanted to keep her clothes, she should have just stayed.
You should have just took your shit with you when you left.
Yeah,
bitch.
that's true.
Pack your shit. Why you leaving? You ain't packing your shit. Why? Because you got all that money. I'm gonna go buy new shit.
In his defense, he bought that shit. So.
Anyway, it's his clothes. But that's what I'm saying. Like all that news, that shit just be funny as shit.
But you can't be petty. Like if I buy you something 6 months ago, I bought that for you. Like I don't like stuff like that. If I buy you something, I buy you something. If we break up, I don't want that shit back. Unless I'm not gonna use it. Like a charger, I might take my phone charger.
Well, that's the thing too. Like somebody said that he came up on his own. She came up off her family name. He had a little bread and whatever. She infused him with some money to get him where he's at. But now he's worth more than she is. But it was because of her help. That's the story that I understand it. That he was kind of in debt a little bit, and just because her family got bread, she tossed him a couple of dollars, and he got his debt squared away, and that allowed him to do the Yeezy boots and all this other shit, his clothing line, and
eventually Yeezy is gonna fade though. Eventually, I do.
Oh, that's
just too many competitors, and then like Beyonce got a freaking clothing line now.
Yeah, it's just a trend. So he hopped on his little fashion trend, and it's lasted a ride, yo. Yeah, this shit has been almost a decade. He
still got some time. I give him another 5-10 years.
He's been a decade with this shit, yo. So.
And I mean, he does have hits for hits. Like, he's been in the industry for a long time, and he's produced for people. But, I mean, Kim Kardashian got family money. I mean, her little sister is worth, like, $1 billion or something. Just off of makeup. And then they collab all the time. And then Kim got, like, a intimate line.
And so she's from, like, a dynasty, and he's somewhat self-made. You know what I'm saying? His family don't come from shit. He just come from a regular little family. His mom worked regular jobs, and you know what I'm saying. So it's different. Like I said,
Kim, when she was Paris's like assistant / butler / whatever.
Yeah.
Even then, she still was like a way better life than I was about to say. Like,
yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Her mom bought her boobs when she was like. Now, I might be wrong. She might have been 18, but I'm pretty sure her mom let her get boobs when she was like 16 or 17.
But yeah,
that's a crazy family.
So I don't know. At the same time, that shit don't even. People with money, they don't care about us. I don't see why we really contemplate their lives so hard, yo.
Yeah.
You know
I don't really care that they're getting a divorce, but I hope that Kanye can. He been snapping lately. And as somebody who's a fan of his work, I hope for his mental health, this divorce is gonna be good.
But that's like...
That's all.
That's what, the whole shit that Dave Chappelle said, man. Being in that shit, once you start knowing so much, that shit make you crazy. Because you know so much, but you can't explain all this shit after, like, absorbing little bits here for 10, 20 years in this game. Now when you talk to somebody who don't know shit from behind the curtain, you just sound crazy. Because he tried to say so much so fast and give us so much information in the 10 minutes that, you know, TV allows him to be himself And the motherfucker always comes out sounding crazy because he's trying to say too much, yo. The motherfucker just know too much. He know too much shit, yo.
But like, what about when he was snapping because he was like Kris Jenner was basically trying to slut his granddaughter out
I don't remember that.
because she was 5 and they like keep flat ironing her hair and like putting on makeup and
Well, that's the same
heels
thing
and-
too. Like, don't sexualize the kids.
But I mean, I'm just saying, like Kim, I'm not saying what she does is bad or good, but her whole image is basically sex. It's
Yeah.
not about brains. Nothing about Kim Kardashian says, oh, school, brains, education. Now, has she helped some people with her money? Yes. And kudos to her for helping some people get out of jail. Well, giving some lawyers some resources to get them out
Yeah.
of jail because she didn't do it.
Yeah.
But nothing about her screams like, oh, I'm smart. She's all sex, makeup, whatever. So it's like, what did you expect when that's who you had children with?
Yeah.
That's a good question, though. I'm gonna look it up and see who's
Yeah, who
worth
got the most
more.
money? Yeah, who is worth the most? And then that, I mean, and if they divorce, do they have their prenups and all that paperwork in order so that they can just separate cordially and just go their separate ways without a long, drawn out legal battle of alimony and child support and all this other shit. So is it different with Dre? I don't know.
Yeah, why
But that's like,
Beyonce and Jay-Z too, because they're worth $1 billion. But I wanted to see who's richer,
but
and he's richer by 100 million.
who? Yeah, Jay?
Is richer than B by 100 million.
Jay he did that, what's his streaming service? Tidal. He had
But
the
see,
liquor, the clothing line. Jay got long
He
money.
got that old money, but see, I feel like Beyonce. I feel like she's pushing her way up because she got that Ivy Park clothing line, and I mean, you can't get that shit. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't a big fan, but I saw like yesterday what she did, and I want every single piece. That shit is hot, and you can't get it. Like, as soon as it goes up, it's sold the fuck out.
Yeah. So Dr. Dre wife, what is she known for? Like, is she self-made or was she nobody before fucking Dre?
I mean, he was with Misha Lay, and he was whooping her ass,
Yeah.
and she sang.
Lil Jon's wife is a surgeon. I didn't know that.
Wow. Nicole Young. She got $2 million. Investigated for alleged embezzlement.
But yeah, goddamn. If I get rich before I meet a bitch, yo, you not getting my money.
So check this out. Huh?
If I get rich before I meet a woman, she not getting none of my money.
In what dimension?
What you mean in one dimension?
You ain't meet nobody else anyway.
I'm just speaking hypothetically.
The pair met in 1995 and got married after just 4 months of dating.
Who?
Dr. Dre and Nicole Young.
After 4 months?
4 months.
Damn, that pussy been good.
Babe, I love you, but damn.
In 4 months? Damn. And Dre already had that bread back then. Like, he could have got anything. He was like, nah, this is exactly who I want. And what year?
95, babe.
95?
First known as the ex-wife of retired NBA player.
Oh, okay. So she was already married to a baller before that. So she one of them ritzy bitches anyway. I'm
Probably
just
never worked. She probably
nope.
got daddy money.
Nope. Yep. Her
Then
parents.
became more well recognized as the wife of Dr. Dre.
Her parents took care of her until the basketball player got her.
Before her marriage to Dr. Dre, she worked as an attorney. So okay.
She's smart. Okay.
Yeah, that's how she got his ass.
But she fucked her way to the attorney's position.
I mean, this picture right here, she's really pretty. But then this other picture, I mean, he's not cute. So I mean, I was like,
She got that long face.
And you an attorney, you should have damn got yourself some more money, sis.
Why your face so long?
Yeah.
Why the long face? It's just me.
To go and seek further information. And so if that raises the question of precision, then is there something that we can measure that would tell us that they do and we're working with precision? I mean, we know that the
That wood grain, boy, I got that wood grain popping.
What kind of procedures did they?
Man, I gotta get these sneakers. Man, I'm so close to getting this shit done, yo.
Which is a place that not many people go because I was told by one of
I do want to add a little more detail to her hair too. I can't forget that part.
couldn't go there. But I got permission one day from Shaggy, who was he was the director of Eagle Plateau at the time.
Oh, excuse me.
So I went there.
Oh
and
my God.
they toured
It's
Surfers
official.
Lake
Kanye West
Square.
is now a billionaire.
I spent a few
A billionaire?
years
A
from
billionaire.
my career as a filmmaker.
From nothing, yo.
West's finances have remained mostly a mystery, but now Forbes reports that the rapper turned footwear mogul has an estimated net worth of $1.3 billion.
Yo, off of the streets, nigga, making
West,
beats, nigga.
It says West is the richer of the pair, but much of his net worth is tied up in in his apparel company.
What kind of approach that they were using because there is no
Oh shit. Okay, hold on. Because they just updated it again like 6 days ago. Kanye West is an American rapper, blah blah blah. He is now the richest rapper in the world with a net worth of $3.2 billion.
Three.
3.2
So he
billion.
richer than Jay?
Richer than Jay.
What his shoes, yo, them Yeezys.
Yeah, and then they signed prenups. And he went bankrupt, got his money up, and then now he about to get that divorce. Oh, he about to come with some fire music. Kanye about to bounce back.
What you have is a square, perfect square on this wall. This is the opposite
She definitely,
wall.
I don't know. She might got money like MK. I doubt it.
Who that?
Those surfaces are about
Nicole,
7 feet apart.
Dr. Dre's ex. Puff said Ian, I was talking about you when he was here.
Just like surface plates you would find in a
Man, y'all boys gonna come up here or what?
And they didn't feel that way to me.
There is a chance I may be down there in damn, next month actually. Like my family normally does something in March, and I was asking my aunt about that shit the other day, but she was like, they don't really know because some family come down from Virginia and Georgia, and some people are like really scared to travel with the COVID. Like the dude came here to take pictures. This motherfucker would not take off his mask. I'm like, bro, you can take your mask off. He's like, no. It's just like my OCD for my own reasons. I'm like, all right, dude. Like, there's just people out there who are fucking really, really scared about this shit. So my aunt was like, there is a chance we may not do something this year. I'm like, damn. But if we do have our family get together, I'll definitely be down there. Come through and holler at y'all boys. I'm gonna come right to your neighborhood and drop some Dutch guts outside, right outside your door, nigga.
Must be nice to be rich. This bitch worth $900 million.
Who that?
Kim.
God damn.
And I gotta see how much Kylie is worth. She been on TV since she was a kid, but all she got is her makeup. Oh yeah, Kylie got $1 billion. The only thing about Kim is she didn't have the internet and all the resources that Kylie did, growing up.
Kylie's a billionaire?
Kylie got more money than all her sisters, which is crazy because she's not the best looking one.
She got the best investments.
Mm-hmm.
But hell,
That's how
900.
Kim got her money up. Kim's not like smart on paper. It says she sold 20% of her, I think it was her beauty line or something. And she got $200 million in exchange.
More than 25 men rather than 10. So now we're going to go to a rather unusual object.
Yeah, sex sells. I mean, like,
and we go from
I don't know that what she got this worth. Even like Kylie's makeup. I didn't buy it myself, but my sister gifted me like a lipstick, lip stain, whatever. And it was nice, but I wasn't like impressed. I wasn't upset, but I wasn't impressed either. I'm like, shit, I mean, I would have preferred my, I use Rihanna's products. Like, I, rather support Pat or Rihanna or, I don't know, a black woman who actually makes some foundations that's for black people and light tones, because I don't know. But yeah, her shit is like real, I feel like she just slapped a nice little label on it.
They would have to use a really small tool.
Damn, she just got a generic product with a cute label.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad, like I said, but it's not, it's just like everything else.
Reliefs in corners a lot of times. The corner radius, I use the wax impression, which
and then they used to have a store called the Dash Store. That was like when they were first on TV.
Common material that we use in manufacturing to take an impression.
Yeah, and I be wondering how much the mom is worth, because she gets percentages off of all this shit.
Characteristic, and then see what the dimensions are.
When she manages them, she takes like 30%.
Mm.
And it's like
contour block looking down the length of it. And we see the same kind of design protocol using tangent circles to create the geometry.
Now every grandkid gotta have a brand of their own, and
oh yes, and every single child is mixed except for Courtney, because she likes white guys. But even her, like, she's like 30-something years old, and she was fucking the guy Luca. That was like 20. He's a little weirdo though. Like, no shade, but your family is just weird as fuck. I don't know.
mm-hmm.
The argument has always been
like, the game's always talking about how he smashed Chloe and Kim, and I'm just like, bro, okay, we get it.
Dolerite pounders. And dolerite is a harder stone than granite, slightly harder. But the evidence
Either gonna come out crazy or a crackhead if you deal with that family.
Or good. Karnak temple in Hatshepsut obelisk was supposed to have been created in 7 months. I mean, if you do an analysis, which I will do in my book, Lost Technologies of Ancient Egypt. If you do the analysis of how much material you can remove in an hour, you can't get it done in 7 months or even 7 years.
Yeah, I mean, I agree to an extent, but I mean, she was with him, but like that Kimoji thing she did, where she made the little emojis out of herself, whether you like it or not, that shit was a brilliant idea. And when it first came out, I was so curious about it that, for 99 cents or whatever it was, I would have paid for it just to see what the hype was about, because it was like a new thing at the time. And that shit sold out instantly. I mean, she made $1 million off an app, and then she has a game that she made a whole bunch of money off of. But definitely, them being together, I think helped boost them both up. Like, her name boosted him in the fashion industry, because they're all, like, the sisters do the Victoria's Secret fashion shows and all that stuff. So, like, they're plugged in the fashion industry. And then I feel like, a lot of women want to look like them. So, she definitely had money before, but he definitely had money before too. Like, I think a lot of people, not us, but a lot of people be forgetting, like, Kanye's been around.
Yeah, Jay-Z been put money in Kanye pocket.
Facts. But like I said, I mean, Kim Kardashian had mommy, daddy money. And then she got money from that sex tape. And then from there she got her show. And she had a store. And then everybody she dated was a baller. Like, she was married to Blake. She was fucking with Reggie Bush. Like, she never fucked with nobody that was broke, ever. None of them. Even Scott. I don't remember what he did. I think he, like, sold luxury cars or some shit or whatever he did. But even Scott had long money for, like, a regular dude.
French production team sent me because they came over to Illinois last year to interview me for a documentary that is going to be broadcast in 60 countries.
And for the record, y'all, I don't be watching that shit, but I used to. I ain't gonna lie. That show's been around for like probably 10 years now. I used to watch it when it first came out.
Looking at his research.
You don't see me watching no reality.
I straight told Angel she couldn't watch that shit, yeah.
And so,
really?
She used to watch that shit, and then one time it was just something. They just had like some ratchet niggas on that shit. I'm like, yo, turn that shit off, yo. I'm not about to sit here and watch black people act like that. You're not when I'm in the fucking house. You're not. You're not about to laugh at people. Nah, I'm good on that, yo.
Love and Hip Hop.
It was Love and Hip Hop or
Not Kim Kardashian.
it was
they're white.
Yeah, it was one of them shows. Some
I mean,
shit.
their best friends are black.
But I don't know what it was, but it was some ratchet ass shit, and she was sitting there just how she was laughing at that shit. I'm like, yo, turn that shit the fuck off, yo.
But you know, there's a lot of, and I'm not saying nothing in her defense, cause I'm just saying there's a lot of other like non-white women that watch that shit too. A lot.
Oh, I know.
Like remember when I got into it with the chick and she unfriended me?
Yeah.
My brother's baby mama.
Yeah.
Because I was like, why do 40-year-old
You always
women,
put that shit up on Facebook.
30, 40-year-old women always put it up on Facebook, and then on top of it, like, I don't care about the Real Housewives. Like, them bitches are miserable. They're putting on an act to get their check for a show, and you're making sure they still get paid. This is not what I want to see, so I'm not tuning into this. They're not getting views off of me, no. The motherfuckers really will sit there and get mad at you and argue with you because you're telling them that what they're watching is some bullshit.
Exactly. Shit is corny.
And that was my thing. Like, tell me what substance it adds. Now, granted, we watch sci-fi shit. Does it add?
I mean, is there
life?
entertainment? Yeah, that really.
That's what I'm
just
saying.
For entertainment value, I
but
get
even
that.
That, like to me, right? Substance don't gotta be nothing major, but it could like a movie like Tenet, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a sci-fi movie, but
it makes you think. Yeah, it makes you think about shit, yo.
That's what I'm saying. The Maze Runner, it gets you excited. It offers something, but like me just watching some other people argue, I would rather go on World Star and watch like 2 little fights and then be done with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. But there's definitely a market for sex, and I mean we can try to talk about this all the time. Like you have Rhapsodies, but even though she gets respect, you don't see people name drop her as much as the females who just show their body. And I mean, you do what you want with your body, but it's just like.
We noticed the difference, yo.
Yeah.
I can see the difference.
Like okay, Beyonce, she's sexy, she shows her body, but she's classy about it. But she don't always have to be naked.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, and I'm not even a huge fan. Or like Rihanna, she can go around topless and still be sexy, but it's just like, if you gotta be naked to sell, eventually when your body fall off and your face starts sagging from the surgeries, like.
That's what I want to see is if Beyonce and bitches like that, Rihanna, are they gonna get surgery down the road when they get older? They try to maintain.
Beyonce's about to be 40. I don't think she will, but she might. They talk so bad about her mother.
Why?
I don't know. I guess they just talk about the way she looks because she's getting old.
That's people change when they get old. What the fuck?
I ain't gonna make no rude comments about that lady. She's older. I mean, Beyonce 40, so she might be 70. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
But Juice said didn't like that American Skin.
You didn't like it? You didn't like it?
I already know why.
You didn't like it?
I already know why.
Just because the whole ending scene, the end scene is the shit that ruins the movie for everybody. But you gotta think, bro, that's exactly how that shit would fucking end, and you know it. And that's why you don't like it. That shit is too fucking real to life. If you want to go about it this way, and you want to get justice for yourself this way, you know they'll do a black man like that. And even when you prove them wrong, they can't let you walk out like that. I love that movie all the way to the fucking credits, bro. I love that shit all the way to the credits. My girl said the same thing. She was like, and she didn't even watch it to the credits. After that scene, she was like, no, I'm done. She was like, I'm done. Turn it off. I'm done. I don't even want to see no more. I'm like, come on now. You know that's real. That's how mad. That's why it made you mad, because you know that shit real. I don't like that. It could have ended a different way. No, it couldn't have. It couldn't have ended a different way. And you know that. I know that. We all know that. I ain't like American Skin. I bet you didn't. That shit too real, ain't it? Mm-hmm.
Yo, that shit had my stomach. I was like, yo.
No, I bet you don't like that shit.
But I think I was more pissed off that he didn't just finish the job. I'm like, man, you should have just did what you had to do. But, let me see. Puff said drinking. I feel as though I may need to make a beat. Cook it up.
I gotta figure out a way to watch that Black Messiah, yo. I said I've been a fan of Fred Hampton. I mean, he was before my time, but when I learned about him, I was like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? And you can listen to his speeches online too, like and see him and hear like the passion, like this, like they just few people. You can just hear it in their voice how much they love they people, yo. And those guys are scary to the establishment. You're not supposed to love yourself and love your people and want freedom that much, yo. And some people they don't even you just hear it in their voice. And when that motherfucker talked and he said he was a revolutionary, he meant that shit, yo. He meant that shit. And they had to kill that man, yo, cuz he was young and they could have seen him at 35, 40 years old. This motherfucker would have been crazy, bro. He would have had a whole militia or whatever. Or he would have got into politics. He would have something. That motherfucker would have changed something. He would have been too great of a person. He would have been too great of a person, yo. Bobby Seale, Huey Newton, all them, man, yo, the Black Panthers was fucking bringing them out, yo. Yo, the Panthers was bringing them young man out, yo. And it was a motherfucking threat, yo. A real threat, yo. Now I gotta find a way to watch that shit, cause you know what? I may just use I can use my work email. I'll use my work email and do a free trial of HBO Max and stream that shit real quick. I know you still have to pay for it. Like you gotta get the HBO Max, and then it's probably like $20 or something to rent the movie. But I gotta see that shit though. I'm gonna watch it today.
I keep hearing a lot of good stuff, and I told you the girl she was in it, so I wanted to check it out.
I want to see, cause the other two actors, yo, the dude who playing Fred Hampton and Lakeith is in that shit, yo.
I love Lakeith.
Yeah, I know that shit gonna be good, yo.
And I don't think I've ever known of or met anybody named Lakeith either.
No.
I really like his name. He's like, I know Lakeisha's, but I don't know any Lakeiths. That's pretty.
And so, One Night in Miami, motherfucking American Skin, and this goddamn Judas and the Black Messiah. Yo, there's some good black films out right now, yo. Malcolm and Marie. Tenet. That's not like an all black film, but the lead character is black. Yeah, Malcolm and that was good because it's just two people, yo, and they actually put it out. There's so many bad reviews, like I mean, like
they keep talking bad about her acting.
Yeah, it's like harsh.
What about her little last redemption scene? She killed that shit.
Yeah,
like, she had me like, God damn, I believed her for a minute.
It was harsh. It was harsh reviews on that movie, yo. But we liked it. We watched it without reading any reviews about it first, and we just watched it.
We're creatives anyway.
So
if you're not somebody who's artistic, you're not gonna appreciate it. I appreciate that film, not for the plot. Obviously, it wasn't an action in terms of like them being on the run, assassin movie like the shit I like, but like they're in this one space, two people, nothing else, not a lot of props. And the theatrics, like that's what got me. Like that shit was like a true theatrical.
Even the music was like bare bones, but every song they played was like.
It was like the lyrics.
Yeah, like right on to the scene, yo. It was like so crazy how they did that shit, yo. Yeah.
And then even just so simple, like she's pissed off cooking the mac and cheese while he's sitting there cursing her out. Like it's just. I don't know. It's memorable to me. I thought it was nice. Now, is it something I would watch every day? No. Would I watch it when it comes on? Hell yeah. Juice Danger says sex sells Megan Thee Stallion. Yeah, y'all think Megan Thee Stallion would be as big if she didn't have like a nice body and wasn't like
no.
sexy?
Nope. And that's why Lizzo and the other chick. What's the other chick with the Chica? And
But
that's
Chica
why.
hasn't been in the mainstream for as long as Lizzo.
And they already fizzling out that fast. You know what I'm saying?
Lizzo's not, but yeah.
When Lizzo drops a new track, what was her last shit she
She dropped
dropped?
an album not too long ago.
Okay.
She didn't have just her single. She dropped an album.
Well, that's what I'm
she's
saying.
been
The
touring.
album, and then you need
Yeah, and
to.
then she's been touring, and then she's like a new artist.
Yeah.
But
But we'll see how her next album come out.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, a lot of people canceled her after she did that
But then
shit
at the same time, because she knows sex sell too, and she's a big girl. Some dudes like big girls, and she got to make it sexy too for the big women.
I was about to say, but Lizzo be naked too, though.
Yeah,
That's the thing about
and
it.
so
Like, let's not act like.
And that's why, like, say, sex
and
sells.
actually, on her album cover, she was naked on it, and her album did really well.
Yeah.
So I mean, it works. But
and that's what her management team let her know. Like, look, bitch, you gotta be naked on this shit, yo.
Yeah.
No.
They gonna say something good or bad.
Yeah. So if you want to get it in now, because the American standard of beauty is not her, and that's just is what it is. And so if you want to like crush it on a sex tip, you got to go all the way out. I'm talking about naked, put your ass out. You know what I'm saying?
But it's just like if you're not that attractive, it's a lot of people like that. Like a lot of people say they don't find Cardi B attractive.
She's just not, yo.
And I mean, her body is bought too, but her hair and makeup and all of that is always proper. Like Sweetie, Sweetie is actually pretty, but Sweetie, Cardi, and Meg, their outfits and their hair and their makeup always look good. Whoever their stylists are, I'll give them that.
It started to split when I tried to. I wanted to.
Sex sells, it's a market.
And do everything so precisely, but I
They
wasn't
need
able
to make a market for the motherfuckers
But
and
then
they
I
trying to
was able to
show butt cheeks and
cut a
legs and
couple of
shit to
square
get some
holes in
millions.
it, and then cut between those.
Like I said, I know someone who wrote a program,
And then this
a phone app that will block anything with the name Kardashian.
Damn.
Those are the
That's
numbers.
funny as fuck.
So those are started out as little square holes, but as you can see, it is a true spiral. And this is another view. These are close-ups of the grooves. And it's very unusual.
I hate the Kardashian app.
Ultrasonics, because that's precision machining. It
That's
had to have
funny.
been something else. What happened was in 1986, a fellow by the name of Dennis Stocks.
That's so funny to me that they all have black kids. Like, it was like, they had to like all have, even their brother got a black kid.
Then if they're black kids like black people in like 2 generations, the Kardashians will be a black family.
Oh yeah, the only white Kardashians left are gonna be Kourtney's kids, and one of them are gonna end up with a black guy too.
And all the black kids are they're gonna be like middle brown kids looking back at their grandparents like that was granddad before he was a lady.
I mean, I always think about that, like, when I have a kid, like, my baby could be brown.
Like Michael Jackson's kids. This was dad before he was a white lady.
Ew. He didn't mean that, Michael. He didn't mean it.
The only black man who grew up to be a white lady.
She ain't never started dating black men. I mean, like I said, she dated Luca, but who else did she date that was black? She's too extra, like, she don't want to spank her kids. Like, I think she got into it with Chris' husband. Chris' new husband is black too, Corey. And he just be sitting back, like, Birdman hands. I'm like, okay, collect your bag, brother. I see you. I see you. You trying to be a house husband.
Mm-hmm.
Better make sure he don't end up on coke or wearing wigs and shit.
That's why my baby girl gotta get that bag so I can just sit back with the Birdman hands.
Mm-hmm. Coming in here with the white gloves when I get back from tour. Which one don't date black men? Kourtney. She's the one who's with Scott. So you got Kim, that's with Kanye. Is the oldest. Then you got Kourtney, she's the little short.
Bruh, I can't believe y'all in here talking about who the Kardashians date right now.
Khloe was with Lamar Odom.
She got you talking about some female shit, bro.
And then it's 2 younger sisters.
And you know this shit is recorded for all the world to see, so I'm just letting you know now. So when people hear y'all talking about the Kardashians, that's on you, my nigga.
Hey, I used to watch the show when I was younger.
Hey, I'm just saying, if he want his manhood destroyed like that, I might post this on Facebook too.
Alright.
I'm like, yo, look at what Juice Danger was talking about.
He's so wrong for that.
Like, yo, my man Juice is all in the conversation about the Kardashians and shit, yo. He know everything about them people, yo.
Yeah, I don't follow none of them on social media or watch their show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Hey, I wasn't always super conscious. I had to get there. 6 years ago, I used to watch entertaining, quote unquote, shit. G said Fred Hampton was 21. Lakeith said he needed therapy after filming.
He needed therapy? Whoa. Because he was the snitch, right? Lakeith plays the snitch in that shit, yo. Why someone sent me this? This is me and my grandma. And it definitely is. Because we be dancing. Why she got her grandma banging on the pot, bro? She did too much though. Like, all right, you can shake it a little bit. Now you twerking in front of grandma. Oh god. When Asian people do funny shit like that, I ain't gonna lie, this racist. I'm about to say, they just seem funnier to me.
It is like,
I don't know why, yo.
Because look at the grandma.
Yeah, just like if there was
if
there was a white person or a black chick and their grandma, like I don't know if it would be as funny.
And then her outfit.
Yeah, the Asian girl just took her hard as shit.
She was getting it though, but that's the thing. She's being funny about it. Like she knows if she's showing you, she know how to twerk, but she was just having fun. Asian girl.
Oh damn!
Told you, she was getting it. That's too much for her grandma though. She was getting it. That's what I said. She was just having fun.
Outfit crazy too.
She was just having fun.
All right, China girl.
Babe, you don't know if that girl Chinese.
My bad. Racist again. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's okay. He didn't mean it, y'all. This ain't recorded. It's not gonna be posted everywhere.
Asian.
So they're briefs, the guys, when they give a lecture. So let's just say there's a fighter employment lecture, which is one of the hardest ones. It takes about 2 days to give the fighter employment lecture. The guy who gives the lecture goes through multiple, what they call them murder boards, where he's scrutinized by his peers and he practices. By the time they actually stand in front of a class, they pretty much have their 250 PowerPoint slides memorized, and they don't even turn around. They just click and they know them in order. And they repeat the same thing over. It's standardized. So they are extremely, extremely standardized when you go through the school, and there's a reason for that. Because what they're doing is they're training. So when you come out of Top Gun, you're called a Strike Fighter Weapons and Tactics Instructor. Okay, so you're SFTI. When you come out of that, your job is to go usually to one of the weapons schools on the east or west coast and train the fleet squadrons, and then you visit the squadrons and train and do upgrade rides and all that. So there's a reason that they are extremely
One of the Fat Boys passed.
The last one.
It is literally one of the best things, and it's not
Marky D was the last Fat Boy, yo.
You can come in as an 04 lieutenant commander. The lieutenants, the hierarchy, well, it used to be, I don't know how it is exactly today, but I imagine it's the same. The hierarchy is actually based on seniority.
Yeah, if you watch the movie Crush Groovin', like they was the main, like all the rappers from back in the day was in that shit, but like the Fat Boys was like the main motherfucking stars of that shit, yo. Crush Groovin'. And then they had a couple other movies, yo. Like one movie, they did like 2 other comedy movies, yo.
From the staff, they all speak the same language. And it has to be that way, which is
And that one song on Crush Groovin', all you can eat. Yeah. All you can eat. Motherfuckers went to the buffet, got chased out that bitch. Like, niggas, y'all eat all the food, man. Get the fuck out of here, yo. All you can eat.
They have to live up to that standard. They have to, and I mean every moment of every day. So if they go someplace, if they go from Fallon and they come down.
The whole plot was trying to get into the Fever to do a performance, but they was too young or something.
And they go around and start flying sorties with the fleet squadrons to kind of pass on some of that knowledge.
The Fever, man, the Fever. That's all you ever talk about, man, is the Fever. Of course, man. You gonna be MCs or not? You ever seen that movie, babe? Crush Groove?
So there's a standard that's expected when you come out there.
So you were a Navy pilot for 18 years.
Yes.
Can you briefly tell the story of your career as a pilot?
Yeah. So, first I was enlisted. I was a Marine, and then the Marines actually recommended me to go to the Naval Academy. So it's always better to be lucky than good. But I got to go to the Naval Academy, and I finished. And I had that dream to fly. So when I got selected,
so you've always dreamed of flying.
Yeah, since 1969 when I watched Neil Armstrong walk on the moon. I was at that point. I asked my mom. I remember watching it. I was just prior to being 5, and I said, "Wow, yeah, it's so cool, Mom." And she said, "Well, they were all pilots." And at that point, it was like, I'm gonna be a pilot.
Groovin', bodies moving, Crush. Groovin', bodies moving, Crush. Yo, LL Cool J smashed this fucking little scene on that shit, yo. Disorderlies, that's the one. That was the Fat Boys movie, yo.
We all grew up in the same neighborhood.
Ain't that pizza place?
The Italian side of the family. That's my house right down the street is my cousin Chad.
Yeah, I watched something about Marky D yesterday. Him and Eddie Murray.
Guy 2 doors down. I went to my cousin's wedding and Mr. Ray sat and he says, David Ray. I go, Mr. Ray, how you doing? You fly jets.
Sleepy.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, sir. I figured you'd be in jail by now.
You going back to sleep?
It was kind of to me, it was a little bit of a badge of honor. I kind of overcame that.
But you attribute that to. So I've heard you before and just now say that it's better to be lucky than good. You talk modestly about
Frosted Flakes.
about just being lucky, but if you were to describe
Him
your
and Heavy
trajectory,
D brothers.
maybe in a way of advice, like
Word? Marky D and Heavy D. Duh. I seen the picture of them together too.
The easiest way is one.
Never knew that.
Never take them. Don't let anyone put you down and say you can't do it. Or because I knew what I was capable of.
They look alike.
And if I really believe if you want something and you want to do something, then you can achieve it. Not in all cases. Like if I loved basketball and I really wanted to be in the NBA, there's a realism that says I'm 5'8" and I
Not unless you want to chop some of them last strawberries in my cereal.
No matter how hard I try and practice, it's just the way it is. Or for me to be in the NFL, I'm not fast, I'm not that big. It's just physically, I'm incapable of doing that. But there's things that don't really tie to a true physical ability as far as size and strength, but it's mental. And I'm not saying you have to be a genius and super smart to be a fighter pilot. Matter of fact, you don't. It really comes down to the ability to think very quickly. 80% solution is typically good enough, because if you overthink it, you're behind. And then in an air-to-air fight, that's what happens. People try and overthink it, and before you know it, because it's happening so fast, you can't get to the nth degree, 6 decimal places. 80% solution is good enough.
You build up a really strong cut for the 80% solution.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in the 80% solution.
I love that.
If you get 80%,
so
you can go, and then you can always adjust, which is exactly what, like if you're fighting in BFM, the 80% solution is, it's like a chess game, but it's a really, really fast chess game where you go, I'm doing this, and then I know that if I do a maneuver, if he's going to counter it correctly, he should do A. If he doesn't do A, he does some degree less, like B, C, D, and then I know how bad his error is, and then I capitalize. So I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to go, I need to go to 47 degrees nose high. If I just kind of get above 40, then I'm good, and I can watch how he reacts, and then I can adjust for that. And you continually work that problem, and you chip away, because if you start neutral, you're just basically chipping away and gaining advantage. So eventually, and if you're really, fighting, just guns only rear quarter, where you got to get behind the guy, kind of World War II dogfighting type stuff, then it's literally it's a very, very fast chess game that happens at 400 knots, 300 knots, depends.
So to get to be one of the rare individuals that are able to do that, you just had the dream and didn't take no for an answer.
Yeah, well, part of it is family. My dad was, I used to call him a fire ready aim guy. He'd smack me and then ask me what I did wrong.
Yeah. Good parent.
Back then, I joke and people look, because, at times it was kind of tough, because he can be pretty demanding, but on the other side, I probably needed to be reined in a little bit at times. But then everyone else in my family, my mom was really awesome when I was a kid. My grandfather, who is a big part of it, my mom's dad, who he taught me a lot, and you have a question there that we'll talk about him, but huge influence, very, very positive, and a lot of the stuff that I do today and decisions are based on things that he taught me, and I figured, it was the first funeral I ever went to, and it was about 3 miles long, and church was overfilling, and people were out. He was a beer delivery guy, dead serious. And you go, someone asked who died, the Pope.
So a lot of people love him.
So back to my career.
Yeah,
first
let's go.
Question, because I'm getting down on rabbit hole. No, when I was I was gonna stay in the Marines. I really wanted to go. Man, I love the Corps. I think it's of all services, it's that one. Everything is in a ball, and they're very, very professional. And it was a great organization to join. But I went out to the Nimitz on my freshman cruise. After your freshman year at the Naval Academy, you go out on a ship, and you're an enlisted person. You get to experience that half, but I already was enlisted, so it's fine with me.
Because it comes up a lot. You mind saying what the Nimitz is, what a ship is?
So Nimitz is an aircraft carrier. So it's 4.5 acres of sovereign U.S. territory that floats around the U.S. oceans.
It's a giant thing. Does it have weapons on it?
The air wing is really the weapons. It does have defensive weapons, but for the most part, it's a giant moving airport, is what it is. So I was out there watching the airplanes land and take off, and I'm like, oh. And the squadrons that were out there, one of the squadrons was VF-41, an F-14 squadron, VF-84, an F-14 squadron, and then a couple of A-6 squadrons. And we actually ended up pairing up and hanging out with some of the A-6 pilots and BNs, so it was really a neat experience. And I said, I want to do that. And the way to do it was to not to go in the Navy, because there are Marine squadrons that go out to the aircraft carriers, but most of them are land-based, to support the Marines, because they're that unit, that whole unit. The Marine Corps is that one service that has it all. And so when I graduated and I got to, I worked hard through primary, and that's where I knew Misty. We were actually went through together, Misty Cummings. We went through primary together, and then I went to Kingsville. We all selected at the same time. I went to Kingsville. There was another guy, Scott Wiedemeyer, the three of us. So I went to Kingsville, Scott went to Beeville, and Missy went to Meridian. So the three of us that we had all went through, we selected out of primary together. We all ended up going Jets, and that's how. Besides from school, I knew her at school too. The long story. I got done, got winged. It took me 2 years to the day from the time I graduated the Naval Academy until I got my wings, and through some luck, I ended up getting A6s on the West Coast, which is a side-by-side bomber. So it's a pilot on the left seat and the bombardier navigators on the right seat. It was built in the 60s. It is all-weather, and it flies low at night. It's got a terrain mapping radar.
How many, I guess, is that a good term to use, fighter jet, as a broad category for the public?
Yeah, that's fine.
How many fighter jets are side-by-side like that?
That was, in the Navy, that was the only one. The Air Force, the F-111 was a side-by-side, but the Navy, it was the A6. And then there's the EA-6B, which is a derivative of that. Now that those are all gone. The EA-6Bs just went away a few years ago, and now the E-18G Growler is the replacement for the EA-6B. There was never a replacement for the A-6 that I flew. It really became the F-18, which the A-6 could go quite a bit further distance-wise by fuel than the Hornet. And
the Hornet is the F-18. Is there usually two people in the plane, but they're usually like in front and behind?
In the modern two-seaters, yes. But most of the tactical airplanes in the world today are single-seat.
Single-seat, just one person?
One person. With the exception of, probably someone will yell at me, but really with the exception of the F-15E Strike Eagle and the F-18F Super Hornet, which is the F is a two-seater. And the G is also a two-seater, but it's more of an electronic attack by, say, full-up fighter bomber.
So most of the time that you've flown in your, like I said, 18-year career, was it two-seater?
That was about half and half. So I started off in A6, was a two-seater. Then I went to single-seat F-18s, and I flew those all the way up until 2001, to the end of 2001. And then I shifted over and started flying the Super Hornets, and I've flown both of those, the E's and the F's. But I deployed when I had command of the FA-41. I had the two-seat. They were F Squadron.
So you eventually ended up commanding the Strike Fighter Squadron 41. I love the name of Black Aces. What is there some parts of that?
Who's Jamaican?
Heavy D.
Oh, yeah.
I said, I don't know, they just look alike. Heavy D was Jamaican, I don't know. Reminds me of Kid Capri, too. Marky said he almost hit Heather Locklear.
I kept a switch that I could go unseen. Because when you fly 2C, there's a lot of stuff that the pilot will offload and take the advantage of the weapon systems operator. And it's not that 1 plus 1 equals 2 in that environment, because it really, there's a huge amount of capabilities that the single seat has, and the autonomy that comes for the ability to make decisions quickly and how well the airplane flies. But it does equal more than 1, and I would say that 1 plus 1 with 2 people is, well, it's a minimum of 1.5, because you've got an extra head, you've got extra eyes, you've got someone that can monitor systems, the airplane can do 2 things at once, and there's an incredible amount of capability to be had when we do that.
Can we just pause on that just for me, from like a human factors perspective and also an AI perspective? How difficult, so there's like, when there's 2 people, there's also a third person that's the AI part. There's some level of automation, like autopilot maybe. Maybe you can kind of talk about the psychology of, like, you said, making decisions really quick, 80%. How do you deal with another brain working with you?
First thing that pops up
And
everywhere.
also
What's that?
automation. Is there interesting interplays
Oh,
you
Kanye.
learn? And also, has that changed throughout your
The
career?
two married in
Naturally, you got
2014.
That's when they got married?
Started dating in 22? Because I think they had North before they got married. I don't know.
Send me a link.
Crazy story to tell you.
It's
In
Marky.
this early 90s era, you know we all love that era. Crazy. We were in LA, Los Angeles, at a famous comedy club called the Laugh Factory. We're inside there chilling, hanging out. And it's me and my boy Drew. We just hanging out at the
Got
table.
friends.
And he's just walking around, drinks is flowing, everybody's laughing at the comedians, hecklers in the crowd going crazy. I look to my right and I see Albie Shore. Albie Shore was like a big R&B artist during that era.
You know, I think I heard this story
Bobby
before.
Brown. Me and Bob mad cool, me and Al real cool. I walk over there. I'm like, Bob, what's poppin'? He's like, Bob, what up? I'm like, Al, what's poppin'? He's like, Bob, what up? He was the Suave Bolo. He was the Suave Bolo back then. We hanging out, we having fun, and we all look to the right. And guess who's sitting at table, like 4 tables down? Eddie Murphy, king of comedy. We sitting over there with like 10 bad bras, they beautiful. Eddie's like, yo, what y'all doing after the party? We going to my house, mansion, party. Let's go. We're like, fuck the comedy club, let's go right now. So we all get up and we on our way. Next thing you know, we're at Eddie Murphy's house, right? Now, Eddie's house was legendary in the music business because of the door he had to walk into the property. You don't open the door slid, it slides open. We've never seen no crazy shit like that. We're inside Eddie Murphy's house. Everybody's fucked up, drunk, having a good time. Bad girls everywhere you look. Bartender behind the bar serving crazy drinks, going bananas, making all types of sex on the beach. Niggas on the piano singing, bitches sitting on top of the piano. Everybody was in there fucking, wilding, crazy. I see Arsenio Hall in the corner. I go, yo, Bobby, they go Arsenio Hall. Bobby Brown goes, where? He looks over across the room. He sees Arsenio, and his face changes. He just gets this grimace on his face. And he walks over there. When he gets there, he's like, yo, Arsenio goes, Bobby, stop. I'm like, Bobby, stop what? All of a sudden, Bobby punches him in the chest. Yo, he starts beating Arsenio Hall in the chest repeatedly. He's like, Bobby, stop with that finger. Like, stop, Bobby. Like, Arsenio, wild boy. Bobby, stop. When I get him off him, I'm like, yo, what happened? Yo, stop, man. What are you doing? I had to pull him off of him. Why'd you do that, Bobby? He's like, because I wanted to. I'm like, you wanted to? The hell? Man, come on, man. Let's go holler at some girls, man. So we go, and we see Albie Shore walking up the steps. So we sneak behind him. We're like, Al, where you going? He goes, screw this. I'm looking for Eddie. So we get upstairs, second floor, and it's another big room. Come to find out, the girls downstairs was the B team. Upstairs is the E team. The E team girls, oh my God. I'm talking like beautiful lips, eyes, sexy, good skin, like just jewels glistening. Like every girl looked like Selma Hayek up there. We hear music coming out of another room. Walk into the room. Eddie Murphy is sitting in this room on a couch with his legs crossed. And a guitar. Across the room is a wall of speakers. Music is blasting on the speakers. And he's just drumming the guitar, singing into the mic. It must be like a new song that he had coming out on a new album or something. Next thing you know, Bobby Brown, Albie Shore, and all of them are singing together. I'm tripping. I'm like, what the fuck is going on in here? After maybe 15 15, 20 minutes, I had to get the hell out of there, so I left. I get downstairs, and Eddie had ordered these car services to take anybody home if he wanted to go home. As I'm walking out, I see this girl. She's walking out too. She's like, yeah, this party's too much for me. Guys trying to smash in here and all of that. And we walk out, so I start kicking into her. She tells me where she's going. We end up taking the same car. We're in the car, we kicking it, whatever. Fast forward to her, she's like, my name is Heather. I'm like, Heather? I'm like, word? Oh, that's dope. All right, she's real pretty. So we back there, and I'm getting my Rico Suave on and all that. So we holding hands and, you know, a little kissing. You know, nothing too major. I was just tired. I was like, give me your number. We exchanged numbers, and I'll give you a holler, whatever. She dropped me off at my hotel for she pulled off. A couple of days later, I found out that the girl in the back seat with me was this icon from the 1980s called Heather Locklear. So if I just would have brought her upstairs, I could have snatched that. And I think she was with it, honestly. Could have snatched Heather Locklear. Well, Eddie knew I thought, he still know I thought, I don't know if he still know I thought funny, but back then he damn sure did. That's one of my crazy party stories that I had, so hope you enjoyed it. Peace.
I exchanged numbers with Heather Locklear and they invited up to the room.
If you or someone
Damn.
Pussy.
You know who she was?
Even more reason that he's a pussy.
Alright. I might do just a few more minutes on this sneaker, and we probably go back to sleep, man. Yeah. Found something for like 30 minutes. Or 20 minutes.
That's better.
20 minutes.
As soon as you said 30, I think you just felt my eyes staring at you. I don't got no damn room over here.
Move this shit out of here. Throw that thing in the trash. That contraption. That came off the washing machine. That's what the guy said wouldn't. But how he did that shit, yo, it was 2 screws. He like boop boop and popped it out.
So it wasn't me, it was the washer.
And popped another one in there, boop boop, and that shit just worked normal now.
Yeah, until the warranty wears off.
Yeah. But he was even willing to exchange that shit though. He was like, if this don't work, I'll just give you another one.
Mm. I haven't heard anything about Joe Biden in a few days.
I read something yesterday. He just did something live yesterday.
Funny as shit.
Yeah, he gave some kind of press conference or something within the last day or two. I've seen that, just didn't click on it. It's hard for me to listen to.
Yeah.
Even harder than Trump, you know. It was so hard for me to like listen to Trump for longer than 10 minutes, but like Biden, I can't even hardly listen to this dude for 5 minutes, yo. It's just like,
Yeah, at least with Obama, I could like listen.
Yeah, you can listen on his voice was smooth and.
I mean, he might do the same thing that Nancy Pelosi do and be like, "Hi, good morning,"
Mm-hmm.
but at least it sounds nice.
It's Sunday.
Yo, that shit still got me messed up. Alright, let's go to the homepage and see what they recommend.
My homepage is kind of janky right now.
Actually, this is really random. I promise I'm not a serial killer, but I'm really interested in this.
No, you watched the Lisa Lamb documentary? It goes nowhere.
Nowhere at all. Just a waste of time to watch.
No,
not
it
completely.
goes through every theory, and then it comes out at the end. It was like, yo, it's
Well, they said she put herself in danger,
accidental drowning.
but they also said that it was something on the paper and they crossed something out too. So,
Them dates, it was the same date.
hmm whatever. She just came to LA to kill herself.
No, somebody gave her, slipped her some shit probably.
There was nothing in her bloodstream. Just low levels of her medication, but even her medication was detected in her bloodstream.
He won't confess. So an old man in glasses and a lab coat comes in with a syringe full of like bright orange stuff and he pokes it in there and the guy starts spilling the beans on everything from the crime all the way to that weird
I was
training out
wondering why
about his
they
mom
do
in
this
high
shit in
school. They
shows and
usually refer to this
movies.
drug by a nice sciencey
What, give him that
name,
truth serum?
sodium
Yeah.
pentothal. And
You're gonna
basically,
tell me everything you know. I will never tell you.
brand name.
Oh, he said it's real.
Oh yeah, it's
What?
real. Yeah, it's real shit.
Oh my god.
For sodium thiopental, and it really has been used as a so-called truth drug. Sodium thiopental was invented in 1936 by two chemists in Ohio who were trying to come up with a new painkiller. They were disappointed to find that the drug wasn't at all effective at killing pain unless it was given in really high doses, at which point it just knocked out the patient entirely. Today the drug is still used as a quick knockout drug, like in the first stage of general anesthesia, and even in lethal injections. But it got another use. The chemist noticed that in smaller doses, sodium thiopental seemed to relax people a lot, not knock them out. That's because sodium thiopental is a barbiturate, a class of drugs that depresses the central nervous system and slows down brain activity. Now, at the time, psychiatrists have been using other types of barbiturates, like sodium amytal, to try to get patients to talk. Sodium amytal was commonly used during the First World War, for example, to get soldiers to open up about traumatic memories from the battlefield. But even in relatively small doses, the drug was a powerful sedative, so it tended to produce like sleepier patients than talkative ones. By World War II, psychiatrists were trying similar treatments with sodium thiopental, and soon they found that in small doses it could induce a kind of trance-like state in traumatized patients, allowing them to talk about their experiences in a candid way that they never would when fully conscious. Eventually, some scientists began to think that if this chemical could help shocked soldiers talk, maybe it could have the same effect on criminal suspects. Years of research then followed that made some researchers think that they truly had found a truth serum. And it's not hard to see why they thought so. When sodium thiopental is injected, it ends up in your brain where it imitates one of the chemicals that your brain naturally produces when it wants to slow things down, called GABA. Sodium thiopental binds with your brain cells' receptors for GABA and then just sits there. This keeps those cells from passing on signals, which, when spread out over millions of neurons, has the effect of reducing higher brain function. This can help dial down the agitated states which come from fear and anxiety, but it also makes it really hard for the brain to carry out complex thought processes. Like, for example, deciding which questions to answer and making up lies. So for a while, scientists figured that once you've lost the brain functions you need to tell lies, all you could do was tell the truth. But the real world isn't Hogwarts, and sodium thiopental isn't fair to serum. Forcing someone to tell the truth is not as simple as flipping a switch. The problem with sodium thiopental is that by reducing people's ability to think complexly, it just makes them talk a lot about anything. In the 1950s, a forensic psychiatrist named John McDonald reported that people under the influence of these drugs were extremely suggestible and would say anything that they thought their interrogators wanted to hear, sometimes even confessing to crime they hadn't committed. At the same time, McDonald and others found that the drug still couldn't make unwilling subjects talk about the things they didn't want to, and people who truly believed their lies, like people with serious personality disorders, would just keep lying, no matter how much sodium pentothal they were given. Today, chemists and psychiatrists and cops will all tell you that these stories you've heard about truth serum, they're not quite true. Thanks for joining me for this SciShow dose. If you want to help us keep exploring the science inside of you and everywhere else, just go to subbable.com/SciShow. And if you want to keep getting smarter with us, you can go to youtube.com/SciShow and subscribe.
The science inside of you.
Well, that's interesting.
It's a fact. On the phone is Bloomberg's energy and environmental policy reporter, Jennifer DeLuey in Washington. Jennifer, thanks so much for joining us on this. Let's just get this out of the way right now. Here we are in the midst of this, one of the worst crises when it comes to
Thank you for joining us on this. Let's just get this right out the way. What the fuck? What was that, bro?
That's how it is.
Yeah, they said a apartment building burnt down in Texas because the pipes froze,
Mm-hmm.
and the fire department couldn't even get water out the hydrants. Yeah,
God damn.
and it was like America, the only country that's not prepared for anything except racism.
Mm-hmm.
So Texas ain't got no
Why don't y'all
power.
use y'all guns?
They ain't got no power, no water.
The company's private elementary school and lay off thousands of employees.
We reported that the co-CEOs, Artie Nitson and Sebastian Cunningham, have secured themselves multi-million-dollar severance packages at a time when the company doesn't even have enough cap.
I can't watch it.
Anything like that before a company not being able to afford to fire their employees? Before a company not being able
And then Ted Cruz went to fucking New Mexico.
SoftBank would ultimately bail
He's the governor of Texas or something. His state is all fucked up, and he's down in
On vacation.
in Mexico. Oh, my daughter and some friends wanted to go down there, so I had to go down and drop her off, and I turned right around and came back to my disaster of a state right now.
Right, because you or your daughter need to be going to Mexico at all.
Somebody was like, "Yo, my kids always come before my job. Fuck y'all."
Mm. The Expanse.
That space show about the people living on the asteroid belt, the Belters. Yeah, The Expanse is a really good show.
He said, I read that parasites are on the water.
What water? Calling me a parasite?
Maybe.
space, but those kind of reversals happen quite regularly, and so it's not really a surprise that the first mouse to chase the cheese is the one that got caught in the trap. I think that's roughly what happened at WeWork.
I think WeWork is sort of both a little bit of an outlier in this era of technology startups, but also kind of the perfect encapsulation of what this era of sort of easy money and no rules has.
So, Pillow just sent me this cube-shaped pillow, and I'm totally excited. Let's see what's inside. First off,
You push your body hard in the name of fitness.
Marcus Moore joins me live now from Dallas. Marcus, good morning. Is Texas getting the federal support that it needs right now?
Diane, good morning. Well, there are a couple of military jets that are expected to fly into Galveston Island, which has
Jets to do what?
all services. It's bringing
Stop the code.
supplies and also generators and fuel has been delivered to hospitals that are needing a lot of that aid. So it is coming.
An earthquake
on top of the aid coming from the federal government, there are also everyday people here doing what they can to provide generators, food, and water for anybody who needs it.
And Marcus, what about the power grid failure there? Something similar happened 10 years ago. So what do we know about why the issue
Yo, their
was
whole
resolved
grid went
at
down?
that time, and what are they doing now to prevent this from happening again?
Okay, well, yeah, 2011, back during that time, actually Texas was actually hosting the Super Bowl, and there was a massive power outages during that. And subsequently, there were recommendations that were made to better winterize the infrastructure here, and there were some changes made and some new ideas adopted.
Mm. That's how states don't give a fuck about their citizens, yo. Y'all should be prepared for some shit like this. Your electric company is subsidized by the government, and then you're not weatherized, even though you just had major issues a few years ago. It's like that same thing with the COVID in the hospitals, asking for breathing machines and all that shit. Like, why aren't you fucking prepared for this shit? Oh, I forgot, we can't prepare for nothing except to be racist. Always prepared to be racist.
And get our guns and our rights.
You got a snowstorm? Let's go shoot it. You got COVID? Let's go shoot it.
Let's get it.
We're gonna take our country. Let's go to the Capitol. Shoot it.
4.5 occurred in the morning on Friday the 19th of February 2021 at 7:56 a.m.
What?
local time near Enid, Garfield County, Oklahoma,
A fire?
USA, as
Earthquake.
reported by the United
Earthquake.
States Geological Survey.
Oh shit.
According to preliminary data, the quake was located.
I was literally on the app, and while the earthquake was happening to somebody, and they were like, "Oh shit, it's an earthquake," and I'm like, we're all like laughing, like, "Stop playing," and she's like, "No, it's really an earthquake,"
Oh damn.
and it really was an earthquake.
Located at a shallow depth of 12 miles. Shallow earthquakes are felt more strongly than deeper ones as they are closer to the surface. The exact magnitude, epicenter, and depth of the quake might be revised within the next few hours or minutes as seismologists review data and refine their calculations, or as other agencies issue their report. Our monitoring service identified a second report from the European Mediterranean Seismological Center, EMSC, which listed the quake at magnitude 4.5 as well. Based on the
Where was
preliminary
it?
seismic data, the quake was probably felt by many people in the area of the epicenter.
It's near
It
Kansas.
should not have caused significant damage other than objects falling from shelves, broken windows, etc. In Manchester, located 4 miles from the epicenter, the quake should have been felt as light shaking. Weak shaking might have been felt in Anthony, located 14 miles from the epicenter, Cherokee, 20 miles away, and Alva, 33 miles away. Other towns or cities near the epicenter where the quake might have been felt as very weak shaking include Enid, located 41 miles from the epicenter, Ponca City, 58 miles away, Derby, 61 miles away, and Wichita, 66 miles away.
You seen the new smoking, kicking chicken at Jimmy's, John?
Smoking, kicking, chicken.
Smoky Creole pepper sauce. You want smoke? I'll show you smoke.
You ain't want smoke, nigga. You ain't want no smoke.
This is an earthquake in Japan.
Oh damn.
7.3 magnitude.
When was that?
Fukushima,
When?
February 13th.
Oh damn.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel.
Boy, damn. It's bad. Power outages.
Where is that at? Fukushima or Texas?
This is Fukushima.
Hmm.
I mean, like, it's shaking, like, really shaking. Like, the other one was in Kansas, but that ain't have shit on there. Glass everywhere. Damn. 4 minutes until we get 2 hours.
Alright, I'm about to wrap it up right here anyway. Alright, I gotta come back and go over them shoelaces one more time, but this is too wet right now. Ooh! He went to Cancun, Mexico, not New Mexico. That's what I said, New Mexico? My bad. No, I know. I thought he went to Mexico, the country. Yeah. I don't know.
That makes it even worse if he went to Cancun, Mexico.
Yeah.
Because New Mexico's here, so I mean.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's the governor of Texas, but while all this shit is going on, he left the country and went to Mexico because his daughter had a party down there with some friends or was meeting some friends or something. Douchebag. Go run your state, bro. Your state is in a crisis right now. A winter crisis. You're like, nah, I'm about to go where it's nice and warm at. Fuck this snow.
Fuck them people.
Fuck y'all, nigga. Y'all cold with no power and lights? Oh well, my nigga. Deal with it.
Some immaculate chicken marinated in pickle juice.
What?
Sandwiches.
Some pickle juice chicken sandwich.
Puff said that.
Damn, Puff. Marinated in
Mr. Chick-fil-A.
pickle juice.
That's different.
I don't know. No?
I'll try anything once, but I don't like pickles that much.
You got that? It's nothing but vinegar. That pickle vinegar with that dill. Some dill pickle vinegar. Some as a chicken marinade. Hey, you might be onto something.
I mean, there's dill vinegar chicken before it was good. I don't know.
From the motherfucking goat. That shit looking good. Alright, guys. I appreciate everybody coming in here for this early morning stream. On our end, it is actually 4:30 in the morning. So we probably just go back to bed for a couple hours, and then when I get up, I'll be right back in the studio, right in here, same bat time, same bat channel. Make sure you guys tune in. Once again, always appreciate the company and the conversation, guys. Like I say, you know, y'all do this for me. I do this for y'all, art and education. Until next time, peace.